Welcome to episode 7 of the Rewire. I am your host, Vannara Loch. Every morning there is a window. It opens the moment you wake. It lasts about 10 minutes. And in that window, your brain is already in alpha state. 8 to 12 cycles per second. The frequency where the analytical, filtering, evaluating mind relaxes enough to let something new in. Most people close that window within seconds of opening their eyes. Now, last week, I gave you the first body tool, the smile, the breath, the shift in state. Today, I am giving you the second tool, and this one goes deeper. Because last week was about entering a new state through the body, today is about what that state actually is and what it makes possible. The alpha state, 8 to 12 cycles per second, the bridge between your conscious mind and everything beneath it. You have been in that state every morning in your life. You just did not know what it was. And you have probably been interrupting it before it could do its work. And that ends today. Let me share something with you. A while ago, I was in a nap, not sleeping deeply, that in-between place drifting, quiet, present, but not quite there. I was seeking something in that state. I was asking my higher self for direction, for purpose, for some signal about where I was supposed to be going. And in that nap, I received something. I saw a glimpse of a figure, and then a flash, the Gmail icon. And then I heard it. The sound of my phone received a notification. In that moment, I knew it was an email arriving in my Gmail inbox. I did not check my phone. I finished the nap. I stayed in the state. When I finally looked, it was there, exactly as I had received it, a Gmail notification. Before it was consciously available to me, before the sound registered in waking awareness, the information had already arrived. Now I am not asking you to believe something mystical happened. What I am telling you is this: alpha state is not just a programming frequency. It is also a receiving frequency. When the thinking mind quiets, something deeper can communicate. And what it communicates is often more precise than anything conscious thought can produce. And what taught me was this: most people experience alpha only passively, as the drowsy feeling before sleep or the haze just after waking. It has never been presented to them as something to use deliberately. But here is the thing: alpha is the most active state available to you. It is where you install new programming, and it is where you receive information your analytical mind would filter out entirely. Both, not one or the other. Now I want to take you through the history of this frequency, because when you understand where it came from, who discovered it, who unlocked its potential, and who paired it with the heart, you will never think of your morning stillness the same way again. In 1924, a German psychiatrist named Hans Berger sat in a laboratory at the University of China and did something no human had ever done before. He recorded the electrical activity of a living human brain. He called the device an electroencephalogram, the EEG. And in those recordings, he found two distinct rhythms, a slow, large wave between 8 and 13 cycles per second that dominated when subjects were relaxed with their eyes closed, and a faster, smaller wave that appeared at the moment they opened their eyes or began to think. He named them alpha and beta. Alpha waves are still called Berger waves in his honor. But here is the detail that belongs in this episode. Berger did not set out to measure brain waves. He set out to find an explanation for something that had happened to him in 1893. He nearly died in a cavalry accident. That same day, miles away, his sister had an overwhelming premonition that he was in danger. He spent the rest of his scientific career trying to find the physical energy the brain might emit to explain such an experience. He never found telepathy, but that search led directly to the discovery of EEG. The man who first measured the alpha wave was looking for exactly what my Gmail story describes. He just found the tool before the understanding arrived. Berger discovered the wave. He did not know what to do with it. He simply described it. It took another 40 years for someone to ask a different question. Not what is this frequency, but what can we do with it deliberately? That person was José Silva, an orphan from Laredo, Texas, who taught himself to read and write, became an electronics repairman, and then spent decades studying the human mind. In 1944, he began researching brainwaves. His studies showed that mental training in the alpha state could increase IQ in children. In 1960s, he developed what became known as the Silva method, the first structured practice that allowed anyone to access alpha with conscious awareness and use it intentionally. Silva was the first to say, the waking window is your greatest daily opportunity. Since you are naturally in alpha, when you first open your eyes, he taught people to practice there first, before rising, before the beta state takes over. He mapped what Berger had only measured. Silva died in 1999, but the framework he built is the ancestor of almost every mind programming practice that exists today, including the one I use every morning. Silva mapped alpha as a programming state, but something was still missing. The mind alone, even in alpha, was not always enough. People could visualize, affirm, and program for years and still not see results. Something else had to be in alignment. In the early 1990s, researchers at the HeartMath Institute, founded by Dr. Childre, discovered what that something was, the heart. Their research showed that the heart generates an electromagnetic field far more powerful than the brain. And when the heart rhythm becomes ordered and coherent, through elevated emotion, through gratitude, through love, the brain's function changes with it. Cognitive clarity improves. Emotional stability increases. The body enters what they call psychophysiological coherence, a synchronized state where the heart, brain, nervous system, and hormonal response are all working together. Over 500 peer-reviewed studies have since confirmed this. The heart is not just a pump, it is a signal, and the signal it broadcasts, shaped by what you feel, directly influence how the brain receives and processes new information. Alpha plus coherence, that is the combination. Silva found one piece, HeartMath found the other. And when Dr. Joe Dispenza, neuroscientist and researcher into the science of change, combined both in his own work, the full picture emerged. Enter alpha, generate elevated emotion from the heart, program and receive from that combined state. That is what Rewire builds on every single morning. Every morning you are given alpha for free, the waking window. That first 10 to 30 minutes after opening your eyes is a naturally occurring alpha state. The brain has not yet fired up the full beta frequency of ordinary waking consciousness. You are already there every single morning. And the moment you picked up your phone, that window closes. The light from the screen triggers a cortisol response. The nervous system reads stimulation and immediately shifts toward beta. The stress response activates before you have taken your first conscious breath. The alpha window does not close slowly. It closes immediately. And what that costs you is this. You begin every day from reaction instead of creation. Your most receptive, most programmable, most open state, handed away before you have chosen a single thought. 7 mornings, a week, 4 years. Okay, I want to tell you something honest. I have tried a lot of alpha and practices. Some of them work, some of them I cannot follow in real life. And so what I am going to give you now is the sequence I actually use every morning in the waking window, before any screen, before any word is spoken. I start with the breath. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 16, exhale for 8, 10 rounds. This is not complicated. It simply lowers the heart rate and begins to shift the nervous system out of beta and toward the quieter frequencies. The body is now chemistry ready to enter alpha. Hand on the heart, inhale for 5 counts, exhale for 5 counts. But here is what matters. While you breathe, you bring a feeling, not a thought, a feeling, gratitude, love, appreciation for something real in your life, something small, something true. You are not performing this feeling, you are locating it, and you hold it while you breathe. This is the coherent state. When the heart and the mind speak the same language, alpha is entered faster and held more deeply. From coherence, alpha arrives naturally. The critical factor of the mind has relaxed. The subconscious is receptive. Now you have 2 options. You can program, write and speak your power statement. Visualize your desired future as already real. Feel it in the body as present. Or you can receive, stay open, stay still, and observe what arrives without grasping or directing it. Both are valid, both are powerful. The practice is simply being present enough to use the state. After alpha, write 1 sentence, not what you thought, what you felt or received in that state. 1 sentence is enough. Over time, those sentences become a record of what a deeper self has been saying and what they reveal consistently, precisely, will surprise you. Now we are going to do a short version of this together right now. Sit upright if you can. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Smile softly. Just the corners of the lips. Let the face say, I am safe. I am open. Now the 1, 4, 2, raise your breath. Inhale slowly for 4. Hold for a moment. Exhale long and slow for 8. 3 rounds. Hand on the heart. Inhale 5. Exhale 5. Bring one feeling. Something real. Something you are grateful for. Let it rise in the chest. Now just be still. Do not direct anything. Do not search for anything. Just observe what arrives in this quiet. Open your eyes slowly when you are ready. And that is Alpha. Not a technique you master, a conversation you enter. The only skill is quieting the beta noise long enough to hear what is already there. Let me take you back to 2022. I was trying to get pregnant, and in that time, while in Alpha, in dreams, in that edge of sleep quietness, I felt myself pregnant. I saw myself pregnant. The body in those moments carried the knowing before any test confirmed it. I now have a daughter. The body knew in Alpha before the external reality arrived to verify it. I share this not to make the claim about magic. I share it because I think most of us have received things in that quiet state, and we dismiss them. We woke up, reached for the phone, and let the signal dissolve before we could write it down. And what both of these moments taught me was this. Alpha state is not just where you program the new self. It is where the deeper self speaks. The practice is not mastering a technique. The practice is learning to quiet the beta noise long enough to hear it. Now your challenge this week is simple. For 7 mornings, protect the first 10 minutes after waking. No phone, no screen, no speaking. Just stillness. Notice what arrives. Write 1 sentence after each morning. Not what you thought, what you felt or received. By day 7, see what the silence has been saying. Now next week, we go into the most powerful episode of this phase, mind-heart coherence. What it means to broadcast a signal so clear from both the mind and the heart that the body begins to live from it before the external world has confirmed anything. Episode 8, and I promise you, it will change how you understand everything we have built so far. If today resonated, share it with someone who picks up their phone before they are fully awake. Because sometimes the most generous thing we can do is hand someone back a window they did not know they were closing. The community to anchor your new identity exists at school.com/rewire-8276. I am Vannara. This is the Rewire. Stop managing your life, start creating it. I will see you next week.